Seattle has produced its share of legends. Today, we'll meet two of them. Nigel, a Chantilly cat who's a celebrity in his Seattle apartment building, and Colette, a pit bull doggie who relishes the finer things in life. These two incredibly cute pets have it all, but it wasn't always this glamorous.
He was just born with a bunch of issues that weren't his fault.
Her food bowl was over on its side, and she was chained.
Then each one came separately to the Seattle Animal Shelter, and their lives began to turn around. This is Colette, this is Nigel, and this is the story behind the cuteness. Nigel is a cat who's universally loved.
Mr. Congeniality and Black Floof is what I called him.
But for Nigel, life wasn't always so floofy.
This poor guy had had a mouthful of periodontitis disease, and he was overweight.
Fortunately, he came to the Seattle Animal Shelter and received necessary medical treatment. He was placed into foster care and given a shot at redemption.
He was not too happy about life, but he was such a good-looking guy that it was hard not to love him.
His foster parent Karen saw so much potential in Nigel that she entered him into the Perfect Pals Average Joe show.
And they decided that he was the cat with the softest fur.
Nigel was on his way. Then at an adoption event, he met the woman who would help him complete his journey.
I thought, this is a cat that deserves a home.
Calista became Nigel's friend and personal trainer.
We'd play with his little toys for about 20 minutes just to kind of get him to run around a little bit and burn some calories.
Now, Nigel is grabbing the world with both paws. He's become known for his beautiful singing voice and for his keen sense of observation. Nigel continues to draw crowds wherever he goes.
Nigel is a very popular cat. He is so friendly that basically you just have to put your hand out and he's like, oh, you're my new best friend.
It's a rags to riches tale that could only happen in Seattle.
He deserved a life and a home, and he's got that now, and that wouldn't be possible without the animal shelter.
Meanwhile, a sweet dog who today goes by the name Colette was embarking on her own journey out of a tough upbringing.
She probably lived outside all her life, and she was definitely used for breeding.
In the beginning, Colette endured dismal living conditions.
It was in the corner of a yard that was just a dirt and puddles and weeds.
Thankfully, Colette was placed in the care of the Seattle Animal Shelter. For David and Ilsa, taking a chance on Colette was a big step.
David was a little, I don't know, should we get a dog? A dog is a lot of responsibility. And by a half an hour of sitting there petting her, he goes, oh, all right.
I'm kind of a dog whisperer, I guess.
Things were difficult at first.
She was extremely shy.
Slowly but surely, Colette's confidence began to build, and soon she became a star. These days, you're likely to find Colette rolling through the streets of Seattle with her entourage and jetting off on weekend adventures.
Now she gets to go camping, and she gets to go fly fishing, and she gets to go for walks.
But despite her fame, she still finds the time to meet with her young fans.
When we go to the dog park and we come across a puppy, she is in her element.
Yes, things are definitely looking up for both Colette and Nigel. But to truly understand where they are today, you have to go back to where it all started.
The shelter is a city-run agency.
Not only do we take in dogs and cats, we take in pigs, we take in birds and rodents, a lot of rabbits.
Above and beyond city resources, it takes a community to care for this many cool cats, dogs, and critters.
Our foster parents are so important in giving these guys a break from the typical day-to-day of the shelter.
That's why loyal fans of the shelter came together to form the 501c3 nonprofit Seattle Animal Shelter Foundation.
The foundation exists to support and to help promote existing programs that the shelter currently has underway.
And there were other things that we'd like to do. And so the foundation has really allowed us to do that.
Foundation grants are helping to transform the shelter into a place where budding talents get a fresh start.
Our first step was a foray into flexible cat housing, which is what this cat condo is.
Low-cost adoption programs, low-cost spaying and neutering programs, staff training, as well as a brand new digital camera for our humane law enforcement team so that they can properly document cruelty investigations.
The other project that I'm super excited on and that I've been spending a lot of time on is working through how our dog kennels can be better and be a more habitable environment for the dogs.
Fans can hardly contain their excitement.
Nigel would not be here. He would not be as healthy as he is without the shelter.
Colette got a second chance through the Seattle Animal Shelter.
With your support, we can help turn even more of Seattle's animals into the rock stars they deserve to be.